They will have to decide whether Eduardo Bolsonaro was just a mere hamburger flipper or a young person, someone who has been making a difference. Because even the press is starting to recognize and get desperate that negotiations are only with him and with absolutely no one else. Seeing the desperation of all this press because of the wonderful work he has been doing there, we get the idea. Because they are so bothered by education, Eduardo Bolsonaro, in the United States. Especially because he is the only link between Brazil and Trump, with Brazil, especially in these absurd events that are happening in our country.
Senator Suarez comes back here exactly so we can talk about the other side of the story, because the trial is happening here. And the former president's son, Eduardo Bolsonaro, and Paulo Figueiredo are still working against Brazil over there in Washington, Hussara.
Thais, tomorrow Eduardo Bolsonaro and Paulo Figueiredo, they're flying to Washington and they're going to have a series of meetings there. They are the ones who, since July, have managed to achieve some successes with measures against Brazil. And tomorrow at 12:30, it's the trial, the second day of the trial. They have a series of appointments there. They haven't disclosed what they're going to say, but what we know, with whom they usually coordinate, are some advisors from the White House, and they also have good communication with the department.
Actually, just a minute. These journalists don't know absolutely anything, do they? They get information from Paulo's social media, from Eduardo's social media, and try to analyze what's going on. The only ones who have open doors with the American government are those two, both Paulo and Eduardo Bolsonaro. But then we talk and observe, right? If it wasn't making such a big difference, do you think they would be as desperate as they are? Of course it is, my friends. They did this in the past, especially the left. It was never a coup. Now it's a coup. Now it's against Brazil. When it was Lula, it was in favor of democracy. Now it's against Brazil, conspirators and saboteurs. Congratulations to Eduardo Bolsonaro. It was the best vote of my life for a federal congressman. It's this guy right here, isn't it, who's really been making a difference for our country. I'm so proud to have been part of history and to have helped this great young man get to where he is.